we're back after a week of hiatus.
Hi.
Welcome to Mike
And Dave's
Chaos
Theory.
Yeah, so we're doing this thing again. We apologize for taking a couple weeks off. We're busy. What are you doing?
3.
3.
How well does this filter work?
Probably pretty well. I think you should, pull it away a little bit more. But, yeah. Oh, jeez.
Ow.
Yeah. Anyway. I'm Mike.
I'm Dave.
And, I'm really happy that we could do this again.
Yes.
I'm really happy that we could do this again. This is a really
Yes.
good time. I like doing this show.
Yes.
So
COVID-19.
What?
Yes.
COVID-19.
Oh, never mind. I forgot.
We're not talking about COVID-19.
What?
We don't bring up COVID-19.
That's right, you weren't there.
You don't say! I've been in here for weeks on end! Shut up. But anyway, we have a very special event for you today, and we thought it would be funny to do a little event.
Transition!
We're doing Clickhole quizzes!
Yeah! How many of these ways have you passive-aggressively suggested to your neighbor that he shrink his children down to the size of ants? Let's find out.
This is gonna suck.
No, you and your neighbor get along just fine, but his kids are regular size, and that's gotta change. How many of these ways have you subtly tried to let your neighbor know he should consider really shrinking his kids down until they're the size of ants? I will be asking you the questions for this quiz, and you will be answering.
We will also do another one after this quiz.
Where you will be asking questions. Okay.
Oh gosh, the mouse is freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's
Low
also
battery?
Yeah, it's also low on battery. Yeah.
How many of these ways have you passive-aggressively suggested to your neighbor that he shrink his children down to the size of ants, pointing to his ant farm and saying,
Hang on,
Kids would have a
me.
lot of fun
This is
in
me. These are the answers.
Yeah, I know, I'm gonna read you the answers. It's multiple choice.
Do you want me to choose?
It's multiple choice.
All right, fine. If the mouse would stop freaking out, okay.
Pointing to his ant farm and saying, kids would have a lot of fun in there. Or having shrinking equipment catalogs sent to his house. Getting a tattoo of his kids on your fingertip and telling him this could be the real size of your children, you know. Showing him one of your child-size ants and telling him this can work both ways. Greeting his kids with still regular size, every time you see them. Giving your neighbor's kids fun-sized Kit Kats on Halloween and whispering to your neighbor, imagine if these could feed them for 1,000 years. Asking him, I know it's none of my business, but don't you worry about how visible your kids are on radar? Leaving a note on his door that says his kids are really wearing down your sidewalk by walking on it, and maybe you should consider making them a different size, e.g., small. Inviting a renowned ant expert to a backyard barbecue to tell your neighbor he'd be interested in studying and maybe even dissecting his kids if only they were ant size. Reeling back in terror at the size of his kids every time you see them. Casually mentioning to your neighbor over a couple of beers that tiny bicycles are much more affordable than full-size bicycles. Pointing to a bee and saying that would be fun for your kids to ride around if they were physically able to, size-wise. Returning the drill you borrowed from him while wearing a hat that says shrink your kids on it in a very in-your-face font. Anonymously calling Child Protective Services on him to report that his kids aren't tiny enough to fit through the eye of a needle. Putting a bumper sticker on your car that reads proud parents of kids so small that no one can see them. Or recoding a song with the lyrics, it's a lot easier to make your kids super tiny than it is to make yourself gigantic, and then blasting it on your stereo while working on your car in your garage.
Oh boy.
I don't remember half of the ones I just read, so.
Yeah, me too. You know what would be really fun to do later on? We should just go and read,
Wait, do you have to click all that apply? Oh, you have to click all that apply. Use That's a word now.
Use them.
Yes.
Use them.
Yes.
This can work both ways.
So this is something you've done. Remember, this is something you've done.
I have done this, yes. I have worked with the foundation to make a child-size ant. It was horrible.
You mean an ant-sized child?
No, a child-size ant. Read it.
Oh. Well, then. Interesting. Still regular size, eh?
So where your side, right?
I know it's none of my business, but don't you worry about how invisible your kids are on radar. Not my kids. They are invisible to radar and motion detectors.
Motion detectors.
I just feel like that's what it would sound like if someone was to say that to someone. They'd have to be a redneck conspiracist.
Oh, yeah.
Returning the drill you borrowed from him while wearing a hat that says "Shrink Your Kids" on it in a very in-your-face font. Anonymously calling child recoding a song. All right, let's get our results.
Let's get the results.
Let's get your results.
Nice. You passive aggressively suggested your neighbor should shrink his kids a decent amount.
Hey, if you still haven't gotten your neighbor to shrink his kids, it's not for lack of trying. There's more you could do to passively goad him into getting those average-sized kids down to minuscule ant size.
Space.
But you've been putting in some work, and it could still pay off. Stick with it, and who knows how small they could be soon.
So,
small.
That's just one of many of these
And that's not even the most insane
quizzes.
I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, no, these quizzes get weird. Come on, don't freak out on me. Also, at some point, we should go and read just the Onion article titles. They can be hysterical.
Yes.
We are not doing the Hyungry Hog.
Hungry hog have eaten all the bubbles and our village restorating. Can you read in the Bible for us? Please, God is educated, sir. Heartwarming. When this boy came out to his parents, they told him they couldn't care less who he loves as long as he helps pay rent. I'm guessing is what that said. How bad do I wish I was King Arthur?
Oh man, you gotta love King Arthur, the Honorable Mr. Pendragon. How much do you want to be this guy?
Wow. You owe me a soda now, you know that was James,
Nah, piss
right?
off. When it comes to the subject of good kings who ruled Britain with justice and wisdom, would you rank King Arthur of Camelot in your top 5 kings? Now, select an answer. I would rank King Arthur as the best king. King Arthur is absolutely in my top 5. Top 10 for sure, but I wouldn't put him any higher.
I'm a King Arthur fanboy. He's best king. I don't even need to. Wait, this is also a multiple choice.
Let's find out. I want to find out. Come on, click.
Click. No.
Okay. Come on, don't be stupid. Unfortunately, King Arthur is the only king I've ever heard of, so to me, he's the best king and the worst king.
Yeah, but I've heard of more.
Yeah, me too. Here are some of the things you might enjoy thinking about. Queen Guinevere. Arthur's throne questing. Royal subjects, a proclamation made by King Arthur. Is this the kind of stuff you're into? You definitely have you definitely have my number. Just before you asked me this, I was thinking about King Arthur riding a horse to a quest. And guess what? In my imagination, I was King Arthur. It just panics a little bit, okay? Calm down. Also, NASA says lettuce grown in space is safe to eat.
What?
Thank you, The Onion. I hit the mic.
Biden gives speech from South African jail cell where he still imprisoned for supporting Nelson Mandela. Woman's subconscious not sure how much more clearly it can communicate that her teeth are going to fall out soon. Nintendo never should have pandered to women and created a female Mario. NASA says lettuce grown in space is safe to eat.
Daydreaming about King Arthur commanding a knight is one of my favorite pastimes. But sometimes I'm Arthur, and sometimes I'm the knight.
Yes.
That's you? Yeah. Alright.
Command me, King Arthur.
Oh no. Oh jeez, okay. The wizard Merlin points at the sword in the stone. What was that? With your hand there, what were you doing? You just panicking a little bit? Oh, your ring. Okay. It's stuck really good in the rock. Be honest, do you try snatching it out? I am confident I would tug it out with one swift yank. And then people would say, "Look! Looks like King Arthur showed up! And this is presuming that I am indeed King Arthur when I start pulling, which is what I think you're going for. Right now, to my regret, I am not King Arthur. Even if I was not...
I want the second one.
You want the second one? Okay.
Just finish reading it, though.
I'll finish reading it. Even if I was not King Arthur, I would still give the sword a nice yank because it sounds like a good time. Everyone in Camelot would be lying.
Camelot!
Camelot. Everyone in Camelot would be lining up and cheering people as they take the turn. It would be a memorable sword festival, not to be missed. What would be really fun is if King Arthur was the guy behind me in line and pulled it out. Then I could say,
Good thing I listened for you, huh?
and we'd have a good laugh about it.
Ah! Ha! 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 That's how people laugh, right?
Hang on, there's another one. Come on, scroll. Don't panic on me. Scroll. I have to do what this Merlin person says, or he might kill me. Wizards are very powerful, and they can make a sword into whatever they want. First a stone. What's next? My head? No, thank you. I'll play along.
What about the one above that? You didn't read it.
Let's say I did pull it out. My plan is to give the sword to the first guy on the street I run into and say, okay, you're King Arthur now. Not me. Don't tell anyone. I gave this sword to you, and you'll get to rule Britain with justice and wisdom. By the time anyone figures it out, I'd be long gone. Sure,
But no, I made my choice.
You have made your choice.
I made my choice. I made my choice before I didn't need to read anymore.
Tell me if this is true. Every time you see a car, the wheels remind you of the round table, which is Sir Lancelot's favorite furniture. Sadly, yes, because every time I see a car, it reminds me that I am not King Arthur, and I never will be. My private name for a highway is Sorrow Black
I want the second one.
You want? Okay, I'll read the second one. Sorrow Black Ribbon, because sorrow is the daily condition I feel when I'm not King Arthur. That usually only happens when I see buses and trucks and bigger wheels that are table size.
I get exuberant when I see a bus because it reminds me that King Arthur owned the round table and Lancelot got to sit there whether or not I am either of them. I'm glad they got to sit at a table that is a circle.
No, car wheels remind me of many round things, but never the round table. Cakes, rocks, the wheels of different cars.
Cakes, rocks.
The wheels of different cars, hockey pucks. These are all things car wheels remind me of. And when I see my own car, I shout, those wheels are nothing like the round table. I'm fairly confident I'm right. This round table is news to me, but I'm enjoying what I've learned so
I
far.
already made my choice. I read all of these. Yes.
You're watching TV news, and they report a murder had happened. Is your first thought that this is the sort of crime the criminal Morgan Le Fay would commit? Sometimes, other times, I think about one of King Arthur's other enemies, like Mordred, or how well hidden the Holy Grail is.
What is your
Your
quest? To seek the
Holy
Holy
Grail.
Grail. And what is your favorite color? Or something. I don't remember.
What is your name? Sir Lancelot of Camelot. What is your quest? To seek the Holy Grail. What is your favorite color?
Blue.
Oh, well, very on. Go.
Blue. No.
I think that's Sir Robin.
Yeah.
Or
Bravely ran away.
I love Sir Robin.
But yes, continue. I picked the first one.
Sometimes, other times, I think about another murder, like Billy the Kid or John Wayne Gacy.
Gracie?
John
Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy. I don't care. I can't. Okay. Whether it's Morgan Le Fay or a more recent outlaw, both deserve heartfelt condemnation. Always, and then I immediately feel relieved that the outlaw enchantress Morgan Le Fay is not my problem to solve. That falls under the purview of Arthur Pendragon, the Fantastic Knight, who I hopelessly couldn't care less about. I think you are still asking me if I want to be King Arthur, which is a tough decision. So, you wanted the first one, right?
Yes.
Alright.
The first one.
Alright. Number 6. The nation's top scientists are holding a press conference to announce that King Arthur is a myth who ever existed, and that Merlin was just an elderly bear that people mistook for a wizard. What's your reaction? And before you panic, don't worry. This is all hypothetical.
Okay.
You better hope this isn't a wood chipper in my house, because I would jump into it.
Yes. That's one I want.
Okay.
Yes.
A world where Mr. Pendragon didn't used to rule Britain with justice and wisdom is just a round old ball of garbage. Cobbage, apparently, is a thing now.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me hobbits from the Shire.
I've never heard that before, and I love it. Oh, gosh.
Give me gold, give me fire.
Give me gold, give me fire, give me hobbits from the Shire. Oh! Wow. I feel really good that I did that. Oh!
No, let me try. Continue.
As long as the subject is King Arthur, existing or not existing, I'm interested in hearing what these scientists have to say.
Blasphemer.
Space and computers are also subjects that interest me, if they want to discuss those too. Please tell me it's legal to kiss scientists, because that's exactly what I'd do. I would finally be free of this curse of perhaps being King Arthur. Then I would burst into tears because King Arthur not existing would be an immense tragedy for Britain. I would ask them pros and cons of being King Arthur. So you want the first one?
Yeah.
For the sake of argument, pretend you're King Arthur. You lead the army of Camelot to the final battle, and Mordred slays you in single combat. That all good? Perfect! That's the way it's supposed to go. Fine by me. No, that would be unacceptable. I refuse to be King Arthur when I die. I would literally prefer to be anyone else. If I am King Arthur, then
King Arthur, then I'd be King Arthur, but otherwise I'm not sure.
That definitely sounds like you, though. That is you.
That's my answer.
That is you.
That's why I read it. That's why I read it.
Alright, let's lay it all on the table. Imagine you wake up tomorrow morning, and you're in King Arthur's bed in Camelot. You head over to the mirror and check. Sure enough, you're King Arthur now. Are you pretty stoked? Yes, very stoked.
No, hold on. I will.
You read
I'm
these.
just gonna read my answer.
You gotta pick, man.
Yes, very stoked every night. I could have been praying for the scenario you described, but sadly, I know it's not possible. People simply don't wake up as King Arthur, and that is my life's tragedy.
Now that you mention it, waking up as King...
that's my answer.
Alright, I know that's your answer. Now that you mention it, waking up as King Arthur would...
Snake.
Good for you. Why? Stop it.
You got kissed by a cardboard alligator.
Stop it. Let me read.
Then read.
Now that you mention it, waking up as King Arthur would be a wonderful start to my day. I wouldn't make a huge deal out of it, but I'd be pretty pleased, yes. Listen, I would march straight to Merlin and order him to brew up a potion to switch me back. Give me a few days as King Arthur. I'll let you know how it goes. To be completely honest, the give me a few days is me.
Yeah, but no one cares about you.
You wish to be King Arthur really badly. Awesome! It sounds like being King Arthur would be a good experience for you. Ruling Britain with justice and wisdom is the kind of thing you're into.
Yeah.
You would love to hold Excalibur and say,
"Oh yes, you know it."
and say, "Good job to Lancelot, Galahad, Percival, and all the other knights of the Round Table. Way to go!" Why did you make a snack? Stop it.
I like snakes. I think snakes are cool.
Anyway.
Transition.
No, it's transitioning now.
Oh. Did you start?
Yeah,
again?
we're back.
Oh. Shut up.
This was fun.
Yes.
I like having fun.
Very fun. I'm King Arthur now.
Yeah.
By the way.
You really want to be King Arthur, so therefore you are.
Well, I mean...
I think, therefore I am, I think.
I think, therefore I am, I think.
That...
This particular move in this game is theirs, I think.
Oh, jeez, don't die. Okay. I had a lot of fun doing this.
Yes.
This is hysterical.
Clickhole is fun.
Clickhole is hysterical. I love being able to pull that off. I love having such stupid fun times with this crap.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this week's Patreon episode. I'm sorry we couldn't do our previous Patreon episode. We've been very busy and we haven't enough time to do that, and we couldn't record it because the computer was locked and I don't have the password for it, but yeah. Anyway, we're going to do one this week, and we're super excited for it. We're going to have a super fun time with it. We're going to we're going to play D&D.
Yeah!
And I'm going to be running it. Oh no!
Oh, hold on.
What?
I made a chaotic evil fighter.
Oh boy. Is it just for this? For the campaign that I'm running?
No.
Okay.
You know what I'm doing.
Okay.
With my bard.
Oh yeah. Well, are you positive you're gonna show up? Because if so, I can get.
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna show up. Okay, I'll have Lola make a fanciful Dave.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about that
Fantastic.
in a bit.
Anyway, we had a good time.
Yes, very enjoyable.
Next week's episode, we are actually doing a backlog for this.
Yes.
But next week's episode is going to be oh gosh. Is it The Onion or an interview? Do you want to do The Onion or an interview?
I want to read names of articles.
Okay, we're going to do The Onion next week.
Yay!
Next week.
Next week. But anyway, if you want to send us...
No!
Oh, jeez.
Okay. It wasn't an important tab, but still.
If you want to send us your suggestions on what kind of Dave you want to hear from,
I figured I should mention this. You said I heard something in the chat that someone didn't know how to make a character.
Yes.
I was actually going to do a live stream on Twitch explaining how to
Make a
use
D&D
the
character.
creation on D&D Beyond.
Oh.
Since I had to help my dad with it, it took us a while. He was trying to make a wizard. It's kind of confusing. Plus, the worst part is there's certain things you can't do. Like, I wanted to be an Eldritch Knight for my Dragonborn fighter. But you can only choose champion on the website unless you buy a pack that's $15.
Which is stupid.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I see what you did there. I see.
I mean, that's why I mostly do homebrew stuff, but if they want to do something basic...
Yeah, it's just, it helps.
Yeah, it helps.
Learn.
It helps. It gives you some basic stats. It has a basic booklet that you can have.
Yeah.
And you can look anything up online really easy.
Yeah, but I've been thinking about, like, just doing a live stream maybe, or something to
when will you be streaming this?
demonstrate it. I don't know.
Okay.
Yet.
Okay. You should stream it tomorrow, and then I will tell...
Look at his armor class.
I hate you.
He's level 4.
And an armor class of 20!
Yeah?
I hate you.
You want to know how?
Mm.
Plate mail and a shield.
Oh, fun. Anyway. Next week is, The Onion.
Before we go,
Okay.
this is funny. Someone just asked me, how are you? I said, I'm good. They said, that good. And then they say, how to diabetes?
Good question. Not entirely sure.
Wouldn't recommend.
Would not recommend. Anyway, that has been.
Mike and Dave's Chaos Theory.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next week. We hope you guys enjoyed.